There's a look at one of the main goal-scoring threats for Timor Leste. Portello will have his work cut out to breach the Vietnamese defence, and we will, of course, now pause for the national anthems of Vietnam and Timor Leste.
Ladies and gentlemen, please stand up for the national anthem of Vietnam.
So we're set for action then. The two anthems sung with due reverence and respect by the two sets of players. Certainly more pressure here on Vietnam than Timor Leste. Timor Leste with nothing to lose, really. Many people expecting them to struggle to win a game in this competition. The only match they won in the 2015 Seagames was against Brunei, who, of course, are in Group A on this occasion. So they're expected to be the whipping boys, and Vietnam cannot take them lightly with goal difference and head-to-head records coming into play in what's sure to be a tight qualification setup for those semi-finals in this 6-team group in Group B. Remember, only 5 teams in Group A as we get a look at our match officials from Oman, Bangladesh, Pakistan and India. Al-Yaqubi Omar of Oman is the man in the middle. Certainly not the same kind of swelled attendance that we had for the Myanmar match yesterday. Myanmar incredibly well supported wherever they play in the region. And understandably, there were fans out in force to cheer on Malaysia for their opening success in Group A. Here's a look at the starting lineup for the Vietnamese. Players to watch out for there, certainly goal-scoring threats expected to come from the likes of Dudai Man, the number 11, and Haduk Chin, their number 26. A very attack-minded setup has been employed by Vietnam for this one, and some strength in the depth on the bench for them to call on as well. Coach Tang will know a strong start in this SEA Games is absolutely vital. Nice to see the two skippers exchanging their national pennants. The official SEA Games coin is shown to both of them, and it's Vietnam who appear to have won the toss. Just one final photograph as we get a look at Coach Tang for Vietnam. A lot of pressure on him, of course, so many silver medals for Vietnam. And that tells you that they've reached the final on numerous occasions. 5 times in the last 9 years they've been in the SEA Games gold medal match final, but the draw for them this time round very tough. Now let's have a look at the Timor Leste starting lineup. Of course, the influence of the Latin element of Timor-Leste expatriates. Portello, as mentioned, a big goal-scoring threat for them. And look out for Henrique Martins as well, the number 10. And just as is the case with Vietnam, bound to see many of those substitutes employed with so many games to play in such a short space of time. Kim Shin Hwan, the Timor-Leste coach, looks like he's got the weight of the world on his shoulders. Expected to be a comfortable victory, this, for Vietnam. But as we saw yesterday, Malaysia expected to comfortably beat Brunei and had plenty of opportunities, but only managed to get through by 2-1, having been pegged back in the first half. Finished 1-1 at half-time that game. Not many people saw that one coming. But we're set for action then. The 2017 SEA Games in Group B is officially underway. We'll keep you up to date as well with the other game in this group, Thailand, just about to kick off against Indonesia. And early on, Timor-Leste appeared to go out that ball. Indeed it did. It'll be a throw to Vietnam. Interesting to see how the playing surface fares up as well. 5 stadiums being employed around the region for these SEA Games. Linesman spot on. They're right over the ball to flag that for a throw. So a chance for Vietnam to try and build from the back and exert some early pressure on Timor-Leste. Early touch of the ball for But Tien Dong. Playing a 1-2 with Tuan An. Early indications are that Timor-Leste, as you can understand, are going to try and sit back here. On the face of it, the surface looks in good order. It's going to have to take a lot of wear and tear, though, over the next couple of weeks. Now, that's a poor ball. Timor-Leste gifted an opportunity for a counter-attack. Can't make it count. When Vietnam cough up possession that easily, they're going to have to make those chances pay. Here we go, then, with Henrique Wilson. Really scrappy stuff this early on for Vietnam, and equally scrappy, trying to capitalise on Timor-Leste. On that occasion, Walter Rufino unable to make something happen. So certainly not a confident start from Vietnam. But they get a chance to attack the final third of Timor-Leste finally and get a throw for their troubles. Just kept in to avoid going for a corner ball. Throw will go the way of Timor-Leste. There's another one of the attacking threats of Vietnam, Tuan An. But the pressure will be on Coach Tang here the longer this stays goalless. Very early on, of course, 2.5 minutes. But when you're expected to win your group opener comfortably, a strong start is exactly what is required, because Timor-Leste, the longer this stays goalless, the greater in confidence they will grow. But that's a nice start of the build-up play from Vietnam. Van Tuan involved. Can't keep it in, though. And Timor-Leste get the throw. will be Andelino Trindade with the throw. Andelino gives that away, and here's a chance for Vietnam to pour forward, just off with the timing of the run, and they concede a free kick, but that's the first sign of danger for Timor Leste. Felipe Oliveira will take the free kick. High and wide it goes, flicked on. Portello managing to win a throw. Give possession up though, Vietnam pull forward now. That's a lovely touch from Tuan. Flicks it through, the Vietnamese can sense danger here. Timely intervention by Oliveira. Wilson heavily involved, but concedes the throw. Space out on the left-hand side for Van Hal. Flicked out wide, there's acres of space for Vietnam to work with on the right here. Chance to twist and turn, losing his footing was Duman. And perhaps a chance for a Timor Leste break. Again, more joy down the left. That's an area that Vietnam look like they're trying to exploit. Going down was Haddock Chin. Going to win a free kick off the back of it as well. Felipe penalised. But it's that left-hand side of Timor Leste that Vietnam look to be exploiting. Plenty of pace for them down the right flank. 6 minutes gone, that's where the space seems to be developing for them. So a promising set piece. It's like Pong Hong Doi is going to try and whip this one in. Got 5 red shirts to aim at. A wall that looks nothing like 10 yards back either. Now, can they make Timor Leste look vulnerable from the set pieces? 2 men in the wall. Rafinha, Walter and Nathaniel are trying to block this cross. It's going to be swung in by Pong Hong Doi. Referee wants them back to 10. Well, the linesman's come on the pitch to get them back to 10. That's novel. Fair play to the assistant referee. Look, still getting them back. It's extraordinary. That was the referee's job. Cross is going to come in. Decent one as well. Then that came off Timor Leste head. Indeed it did. It was probably a necessary intervention as well from George Sabas. But the first corner of the game goes the way of Vietnam. Victor George Sabas then with that headed clearance. Plenty of red shirts in the box, including Tuan looking to get on the end of this. Loitering with intent around the goalkeeper as well as Phan Tuan. Corner comes in, thick chance, 1-0! On the mark. Inside 8 minutes. That looked like a training ground routine to me. And Tuan Van Hal is making no mistake in giving the Vietnamese the lead. With less than 8 minutes on the clock. Just what the doctor ordered from a Vietnamese point of view. They lead 1-0 and the pressure off them already. It was a brilliant flick on as well by Haddock Chin. Led to uncertainty and really no one in that Timor Leste defence knowing what they were doing. When the ball fell into the path of the onrushing Van Al, absolutely nothing the goalkeeper could do about that. So Vietnam get the first goal of the afternoon in the football on the board. Still goalless between Indonesia and Thailand in this group, in the game kicking off simultaneously. Now, will that settle any nerves that Vietnam may have had with a heads drop of Timor Leste? Next 4 or 5 minutes is going to be telling. So far, all the attacking threat in this first 10 minutes has come from the team in red. Space on the left-hand side for them to work something. Red shirt streaming into the penalty area. Could fall all the way for Van Tan. That's a foul though. Could be a yellow card as well. Vietnam look like they're going to be the first team to pick up a yellow, are they? Indeed they are. Luang Xuan, probably fair enough as well. Took one for the team there. Completely mistimed that. Very rash indeed. And Timor-Leste prevented from breaking quickly. So Luang Xuan in the book, he'll have to be careful. Last thing Vietnam want to do is get a player sent off in this kind of fixture when they've got bigger games to come ahead. Defended well Vietnam, and they break quickly, and that was a nice ball through, just a little bit too much on it. But the thought was there, they running into the channels was spot on, but just slightly over-egged the pudding on that ball through did Haddock Chin. And as it stands, very early, only 10 minutes into Group B, Vietnam top the table with Thailand and Indonesia currently locked at 0-0. Chance Vietnam, another quick break here, and this time there's a perfect weight on the ball. Vietnam through it down for 2-0. Jockey the young, brilliantly defence was good. Danger not clear. 2-0 just whistled past the post. Should have been 2-0 from Vietnam. With some good defensive play in the mix there from Timor Leste as well. But Anne's entitled to have done better on the follow-up there. Jockey brilliantly was Haddock Chin. And look at the space and the onrushing Kong Pong, who is desperate to get that ball to his feet. It would have been 2-0 for sure. But you can see how quickly Vietnam are prepared to go for the throat of Timor Leste on the counter-attack, and Timor Leste really struggling in possession to get anything resembling an attack going, and they've given it away again here. Falling down the right-hand side is Van Tuan. Nice bit of trickery, looks for the cross ball. Timor-Leste do well to prevent the corner there, but they're really attacking at pace, Vietnam, and look dangerous every time they get into that final third. That's a lovely bit of play. Ball played through, cross comes in, keeper does well. First touch of the ball, that I think, for Fagio Augusta, certainly the first time he's had it in his hands, other than picking the ball out of the net for the first goal. Really nice bit of build-up play on that occasion. It was Van Tan in a forward position, but his ball across the face of the goal collected easily enough by Fagio Augusta in the Timor-Leste goal. Can't remember the ball being in the Vietnamese penalty area so far. Such has been their dominance. Possession stats must be something like 80-20 in favour of the team right at the moment. Here's Luang Xuan, who's received the only yellow card of the game so far. Every time they try and break Timor Leste, they're giving the ball away far too easily. That's a delightful ball to the left-hand side. More options in the north of Vietnam. Falls to Antoine, gets it back. Timor Leste doing well to get back in numbers here. Danger still not entirely cleared. Vietnam build once more. Chip through, surely offside, flag goes up. Looked too good to be true from a Vietnamese point of view. The referee, as the replay I'm sure will tell us, was spot on to call that offside. Or was he? Let's have a look at this. Possibly just, but certainly closer than it looked in real time. Another illustration of just what a difficult job it is to be an assistant referee, trying to get the flag up correctly when you're looking at the through ball and the run of the on-rushing player. Left and right here. Ball falls to Twenam for range off the post. The post saves Timor Leste. Fagio, I don't think was going to get near that. Beautiful bit of build-up play, putting the trigger from range Twenam, and that's just hit the outside of the post. But no exaggeration to say, every time Vietnam get the ball in the final third, they look a good chance to score here. The defence of Timor-Leste looking vulnerable at every opportunity, and they're coming forward again. It's wave after wave. Surely they can't survive much longer. Timor-Leste 1-0. It goes out to the right-hand side. Far too much on that cross, though, from Van Tuan, and it goes out for a throw to Timor-Leste. So a quarter of an hour gone. Timor-Leste, the good news for them is that they kept the damage to a limited 1-goal deficit, but enough attacking inspiration on display from Vietnam to suggest it's going to be a long afternoon for Timor-Leste. First real example of Timor-Leste putting Vietnam under a bit of pressure in their own penalty area. Cross-headed away relatively comfortably. And they've got a chance for yet another break from the counter-attack here. Vietnam is one-on-one on the right-hand side. Referee, I think, sees a push there into the back of Philippe Olivero. Adok Chin is penalised. Decision there, Timor-Leste. Maybe a chance for a probing free kick to attempt to put the penalty box under some kind of pressure. Going all the way through for a rare touch for Vietnamese goalkeeper Pi Minh Long. tell you Thailand have taken the lead against Indonesia. So two of the favourites of this group, both one goal up inside the first 20 minutes of the competition. Conceding the free kick there was Andalino Trindade. Left arm going across the body of Van Tuan. Referee from the Oman, Yakubi Omar, saying it's quite enough for that, giving Andalino a slight talking to. And seconds after Timor Leste had a free kick in a similar opportunity, they couldn't make it pay. Vietnam will try and build from a similar area, but most of their joy so far has been on the quick counter-attacks, and certainly the space they found down the flanks. And there's some space again. Great header! What a goal that is! Timor Leste in disarray. A superb cross and a brilliant diving header. A sensational goal for 2-0 to Vietnam inside 20 minutes. Just waiting for confirmation that it was Haddock Chin that got on the end of that. Coach Tang loves it. That's one of the best goals of the opening round of matches. Malaysia scored a belter yesterday, but look at this. The cross was brilliant, and it was Haddock Chin with a diving header. Goalkeeper absolutely no chance. And quite right that Van Tuan gets plenty of plaudits from the cross as well, because that goal was as much about the cross as it was about the header. And apologies, it was Duan Van Hao actually with the cross in, the goal scorer of the first goal. So what a start to the game for him. But it's 2-0 to Vietnam inside 20 minutes here. At the Seliang Stadium in Malaysia. Cross comes in. It was left, I think, originally, but they've managed to keep it in, Timor Leste, and they've got numbers forward here if someone can get a cross in. Then they'll concede a free kick. George Manuel, I think that was, with the push. From the back once more, Van Tan, space for Van Tuan. They're coming forward again. Haddock Chin fancies a second. Comes to Van Tuan, back to Haddock Chin. Have to make do with the throw. Under the circumstances there, I think Nelson Vigas did probably the best thing he could. In was apparently. It was certainly a tight call. The assistant referee closer to it than I was said the ball has stayed in play. Suggesting a handball there, more than a suggestion, it was a handball. And Timor Leste will get a free kick to ease the pressure. Long Zhang with a raking ball as the flag stayed down. No, it hasn't. Again, it looked too good to be true. He doesn't like the decision, does he, Van Tuan? But the assistant referee's been pretty good on his offside call so far. Let's just check if he's got this one right. Again, margins in it. They're playing a very high line, Timor Leste, and with the pace that Vietnam have got, they need to get that spot on. And so far, the assistant referee has agreed with their placing of that high line, but it's thin margins. Here's Van Tuan, has ball Attempting the clever flick was Kong there. Succeeding in giving away possession and allowing a lone Farrow up front. Henrik Wilson tries to look for support, but it wasn't coming quick enough. And it's Vietnam again. Golfing class really evident in these first 23 minutes, and the space that Vietnam are finding themselves on. Here's Van Tan, still Van Tan, comes through. Taking one touch too many. Vietnam on that occasion went down looking for a cheap free kick, and referee Omar not interested. And let's see if Timor Leste can fashion their first meaningful attack from what was a promising position there. The answer is no. Football, one of 7 sports that have been ever present in the Seagames. Bit of mid-half trivia for you: athletics, badminton, boxing, shooting, swimming and table tennis. The only other 6 that have been in every Seagames so far since the 1950s. 11 nations competing in the men's tournament this year in Group A that got underway yesterday: Brunei, Laos, Myanmar, Malaysia and Singapore. And there's 16 group in Group B with Thailand and Indonesia currently in action. The Thais in front 1-0 there. Vietnam, of course, here against Timor Leste, and the other 2 teams, Cambodia and the Philippines. Philippines, a side that have really improved over the last half-decade, certainly at Southeast Asian level. Piemann there does well. Difficult for a goalkeeper when you're not really being called upon to do much. I think that's his second touch in the first 25 minutes. He was alert off his line to snuff out any potential threat that Timor Leste may pose on that occasion. Van Tan involved in the build-up play. Felipe it is that snuffs it out. Found its way through to Haddock Chong, fancying a second here. Both he and Van Hao really lively threats, the 2 best players from a creative perspective. Both goal scorers so far from Vietnam. There's too much on that ball coming forward from Timor Leste, really struggling to get anything going, aren't they? It must be frustrating for them. Shake of the head from Henrik Wilson. Nelson having now to jog back as Vietnam find themselves once more in plenty of space, plenty of time, and the luxury of a 2-goal lead to try and build up to make it 3 at least before half-time. It's going to be a very tough Seagames for Timor Leste, but of course crucial to their development. The Seagames very much a celebration of sport. As you get in all major championships, there's different levels. It's all about the development, and you can be sure that Timor Leste, whatever happens to them for the rest of the 2 weeks, will be stronger for their experience in Malaysia. There's a slip for Timor Leste, allowing Vietnam in. Great covering tackle. That was well played by Andalino there. And he's now completed the job. Well, he's almost completed the job. Unfortunately for Angelino, it's gone to the Vietnam foot, and they're struggling to clear the ball from their final third at the moment, Timor Leste, so Vietnam do it for them. That's a perfectly weighted ball. They're thrown goal for 3 now, and shot in the end from Kong Pong. Should have done better there. Beautifully weighted ball. And Pong was through and he scuffed it, didn't he? And in fairness to him, looks like there's only signs that the turf may be cutting up. We have had rain in Kuala Lumpur over the last couple of days, so it's a rather sodden surface rather than a slick one. Attempting to get things going is Victor there for Timor Leste. Hacked clearance gives Timor Leste a throw in the final third. Haven't had much reason to look at Dudo Man so far. That was his first contribution clearing that ball. Are we going to get a Timor Leste corner? We are now. Doesn't matter what level of football you're at, if you're the underdog and you're up against it, set pieces is where you can still make it count. Set pieces are great level up, and Timor Leste are going to enjoy their first corner here. Going to be taken by George Manuel. Not too many height options for them to aim at, but the ball comes in and it's headed clear. Now, can Timor Leste get another cross straight back in? But they'll keep possession, but that intended ball to Scotland wasn't coming in again. Vietnam can try and catch on the break, getting in each other's way, but still coming away with the ball. Vietnam, it's a 3-2. Well, goalkeeper stood up large there, Fagio Augusta, but he'll be disappointed, Kong Pong, that he didn't score. That's his second opportunity he's had in 2 minutes. Did all the hard work, and just close enough to the goalkeeper, that shot, to not cause him too many problems. The keeper still did well, though. But that's the trouble Timor Leste have. Every time they come forward, trying to get a goal of their own, Vietnam are exploiting the space at the back and cutting through the middle with consummate ease of the Vietnamese. Pretty to watch, and when it goes right it looks fantastic, but unfortunately it's only gone right for them twice so far. Here's Tan. The ball is going to end up back with Vietnam, and a chance through on goal was Haddock Ching. No free kick given there, and he's gone down injured, Haddock Chin. Scorer of the second goal. It's a lovely touch. Angelino standing his ground. Maybe the foul wasn't the correct call. I think he may have, well, I'm not sure on that replay if it looked like he was trod on by Angelino, but that's certainly what he's alluding to there. And we'll get our first significant stoppage in play. Chance to look back at the first goal. Really well delivered corner and a scramble, fun time with absolute conviction by Grant Van Hout. After that corner that was delivered brilliantly by Kong Pong. And then, what a goal that was. The diving header from Haddock Chin, making it 2-0 inside 20 minutes. And Timor Leste with to do, taking the opportunity, use that goal scorer Haddock Chin to take some water on board. Thailand still leading Indonesia by a goal to 0. Vietnam sportingly sending the ball back to Fagio Augusta. Felipe to the left-hand side of Angelino. He's had a very busy afternoon so far, Angelino. That's a nice bit of skill from Enrique. Oof. Full-blooded challenge there. Penalised his Kong Pong of Vietnam. He's asking him to calm down there. Now, we've already seen one Vietnamese player booked. No yellow card so far from Timor Leste. And the last thing they want to be doing here is picking up meaningless yellow cards. Angelino plays it short, brings in Nathaniel. Fair play to Timor Leste, they're having a go here. They are committing numbers forward, but the trouble is when it breaks down as it has here, Vietnam most times appear to have a bit too much pace for them. It was a millimetre away there from being a great counter-attack opportunity for Vietnam, and the danger's still not clear now. They got men herring down the right-hand side. Options to the right again. Coming forward is Van Tan. Done better with a shot there, had options as well. But this is a decent game, it's moving at a fast pace. Neither side letting up despite the 2-0 scoreline already. And a chance here for Timor Leste to score! Timor Leste within centimetres of getting on the score sheet themselves for Enrique. A sensational save from Phi Minh Long, the first save he's had to make all afternoon. And we were very close there to being 2-1. But how often in football do we go from one end to the other? From ecstasy to heartbreak, it could be for Timor Leste here, because Vietnam are now coming forward. Timor Leste happy to make those opportunities count when they come their way. This is going to go down to the left, and a chance for a cross. Options in the middle. He was expecting it there, and a wild air shot at that one. And Timor Leste now, will they be buoyed by that opportunity they just had? They're going to have to deal with defensive duties here, Enrique. Brought down. Vietnamese really getting behind their team. The flag stayed down on this occasion, or has it? No, it's gone up. It was a late flag by the looks of it. Certainly the referee didn't see it too late. But for the fourth time in this first half, Vietnam are caught on offside, and again, there's very little in that. Sometimes you like to see the benefit of the doubt going to the attacking player, and that's the third occasion that it's been really tight. Vietnam have been pegged for offside. Zandelino. More space for Timor Leste to try and play with. They're having more joy now. Shot comes in, offside flag. Phi Minh Long in the Vietnamese goal, it wasn't to know that, and it was another good save on his part. Another close offside call. It was Enrique twisting and turning, and Phi Minh Long has been called into action twice inside 2 minutes here. Did well, stood up well, got the save. That was heading goalwards. So a couple of encouraging signs for Timor Leste. It'll be fascinating to see if they come out in the second half and have a real go here. If they do, it could be an absolute goal fest here at Seagames Stadium. The opening day of Group B action in the 2017 Seagames. Vietnam leading this by 2-0, relatively comfortably at that, but just signs that Timor Leste, have given an opportunity, have got what it takes to get on the scoreboard. And of course, goal difference may become a factor later in the competition as well, with it being so tight, with 6 teams squabbling for 2 semi-final spots. Thailand leading Indonesia by a goal to 0. They're also just over 35 minutes gone in that one. So Vietnam will want to win and want to win here convincingly. Give their strikers some confidence early in the tournament and set up a nice goal difference early on. Here they come, looking for number 3. To the right-hand side it goes, and Van Tuan looks for the cross, goes away. And what an opportunity that was! He could have had a hat-trick by now, but couldn't get connection. course, fitness will definitely be a factor in the second 45 of this game. Vietnam in a struggle great strength and depth. First games of a competition. What a Vietnam, they've missed at least 4 golden opportunities, and they've hit the post and hit the crossbar now. The beautifully weighted pass comes through. Sensational ball through that was from Đồng. And had a chin again. Could have had 4. Free kick goes the way of Timor Leste. Enrique decides against taking it quickly. Instead, they'll try and build from the back as we approach the final 5 of this first half. Look at that, the foul count. Twice as many fouls committed by Vietnam as have been committed by Timor Leste, and that's reflected by the fact that the only player to pick up a yellow so far is the Vietnamese number 6, Long Xuan. That's a loose ball from Timor Leste, going to be a chance for Vietnam to break and get on the counter here. Modus operandi has tended to be get it out wide in these situations, but they might not need to on this occasion. Just slightly off with the timing of the ball, but Timor Leste, when they clear, they're sometimes just beckoning Vietnam to come forward again. Vietnam lead by 3, and look at this, Timor Leste standing on 1 touch, 2 touch, 3 touch, 4. Vietnam lead by 3 goals to 0. Van Gaal given the freedom of Seagames Stadium to tee up his shot. The pressure came far too late, and the goalkeeper, poor old Fagio Augusta, in fairness to him, he could do nothing about the 3 goals that have flown past him. And now, of course, you have to say it's going to be a question of just how many Vietnam are going to score here. Challenge by Timor Leste. Difficult to be too critical of Timor Leste. I mean, in terms of abilities here in matchups, it's somewhat of a mismatch, and they've had a go. They've not let their head drops thus far, but the ease with which Vietnam are just cutting through them. And if you are going to be critical of Timor Leste, their first phase defensive work isn't good enough. They're giving the ball back to Vietnam far too easily. Creating chances at will. Van Tan. Vietnamese maybe have the rise in a 4th before half-time, or are they just happy to play the clock down? Another one of those delightfully well-timed locked-in balls. They've got options here to the left, to the right. Twisting and turning is Pong Hung Doi. Gets it through. For once, had a chin not guilty of a miss, but guilty of maybe a wrong decision. They could have gone for goal himself. Are they going to try another one from range? What a delightful ball that is to the right-hand side. It comes to Van Tan. They've been given lots of space to operate with Vietnam here, but their football is really a joy to watch at times. Perhaps a bit wasteful, and the couple of opportunities they've had, they've taken the wrong option, but they're really easy on the eye, aren't they? Growing in confidence as you would do at 3-0 up after 43 minutes as every second passes. Surely the flag's not stayed down there. The flag's got up. And let's have a look at the replay on this one. The first 3 offside calls are marginal. He doesn't like it. He thinks he was onside, Van Tuan. And again, it's very close. Maybe give the assistant referee the benefit of the doubt on that occasion, but All these offside calls have been very, very close calls indeed. Timor Leste trying to switch play. Vietnam head that one away. Inside the final 60 seconds of this first 45 minutes, it's been all one-way traffic. But having said that, we did have those couple of opportunities, one of which eventually flagged offside that was saved anyway by Dean Long. But they did have an opportunity, courtesy of Enrique, Timor Leste. It could easily have got them on the score sheet. But wastefulness there is going to give Vietnam one last go at registering a fourth score before the break. Imagine you can't see much more than 1 minute of time added on at the end of this first half. We'll get confirmation of that for you shortly. Indeed, 1 minute is confirmed, so 60 seconds. Can Vietnam reach the Timor Leste goal one more time in the next 60 seconds? They don't appear, and understandably so, in too much of a rush to do so, but Timor Leste stand back off them so much in these situations, they've almost got time to pick their passes. Now they come forward, and they've got runners ahead now. Van Tran looking for the return pass, twisting and turning, and conceding the free kick eventually was Pong Hong Du. And that'll probably just see the end of goalmouth action for this first 45 minutes. And a captivating 45 minutes it's been as well. Vietnam easy on the eye to watch. Timor Leste, you have to feel for them somewhat. They are a bit outmatched here. Going to be a tricky Seagames for them. But credit where it's due to Vietnam. Could easily have been 6 or 7 up, but at half-time they're going to lead by 3. And with Thailand leading Indonesia by a goal to 0, it's Thailand and Vietnam who at half-time, the opening day of Group B action, the top Group B. Sensational start for Vietnam, made after 8 minutes with a goalmouth scramble from a corner leading to a goal from Duan Van Hao. Then after 20 minutes it was a Duan Van Hao cross that was headed in brilliantly, a diving header from Haddock Chin. And then 4 minutes before the break, the goal of the half, a long-range effort from Duan Van Hao, leaving Fagio Augusta completely helpless in the Timor-Leste goal. At half-time here at Seliang, it's Vietnam 3, Timor-Leste 0. There's a look at one of the main goal-scoring threats for Timor Leste. Portello will have his work cut out to breach the Vietnamese defence, and we will, of course, now pause for the national anthems of Vietnam and Timor Leste.
Ladies and gentlemen, please stand up for the national anthem of Vietnam.
Hãy subscribe cho kênh Ghiền Mì Gõ để không bỏ lỡ đây vậy? Đúng. Đó. Mất công lại dừng lại dừng đi. Bên này lúc lên ra biên là có tập trung bay ơi, 45 phút đó.
Seagames. Vietnam leading Timor Leste by 3 goals to 0. In truth, could have been double that number of goals in the first half. Timor Leste themselves with one chance that came the way of Henrique. It was blocked. It looked like he was heading goalwards. He had another opportunity that was well saved by the Vietnamese goalkeeper, who, on the rare occasion he's been called into action, has been relatively sharp, bearing in mind his hands have been getting cold for most of the first 45 minutes. But Vietnam, relatively comfortable, opened the scoring after 8 minutes. Duan Van Hao scoring from a corner. 12 minutes after that, a magnificent diving header by Haddock Chin after a cross from the aforementioned Duan Van Hao. And then 4 minutes before the break, an absolute screamer from range. That man again, the man of the first half, no question, Duan Van Hao. Given space and time to operate from outside the area. Smashed a shot past the despairing arms of Fagio Augusta into the left-hand corner of his goal. So it's 3-0 to Vietnam at the break. Vietnam in the red shirts, Timor Leste in the black and white. So a change there for Timor Leste as well, a half-time substitution. Just a confirmation of that for you. I think that's Danielson that has come on for Nathaniel. So a change in the middle of the park and maybe a change of formation as coach Kim Shim-wan tries to get Timor Leste back into this game. It's a very tall order because Vietnam were cutting them open with relative ease in the first 45 minutes, and you get the feeling it might just be a question of how many goals they fancy scoring. For Timor Leste, it's going to be the start of a long couple of weeks for them of Seagames football, but of course, as so many of these sports will prove in the Seagames, great exposure and experience for the athletes involved. As we get the first quarter of the second half inside the first 60 seconds, and it goes the way of Vietnam. Olivero having to concede the corner under the pressure of the on-rushing Vietnam strike force, who've looked very effective in the first half. A couple of wrong options, arguably, in some of the scenarios they were presented with, but just the third corner of the game this. Second for Vietnam. Remember, they scored from their first corner in the 8th minute of the game. Can they score from their second in the 2nd minute of the second half? Corner comes out wide, but it's met quite comfortably by Enrique. Timor-Leste, can they get their first attacking movement of the first couple of minutes in this second half going? Answer is no. Once more, Vietnam dispossess them easily and come forward themselves. 2 white shirts required to kick that one out for a throw. Hong Kong it was. Couldn't shrug off the attentions of Portello and friends. It's the referee decided here, I think the throw has actually got in the way of Timor Leste. Free kick. Our referee, if you are just joining us from Oman, Al Yakubi Omar. Just the 1 yellow card he showed in that first 45 minutes to the Vietnamese number 6, Rang Chang Tron. Vietnam keen not to pick up any more yellows in this second half, with bigger tests lying ahead for them, including Indonesia and Thailand in what's going to be a very congested Group B. Remember, 6 teams in Group B, only 2 of them qualify for the semi-finals. Thailand, who currently lead Indonesia by a goal to 0 in the other match, kicking off simultaneously in Group B. They are red-hot favourites to win the group and win gold, but it's going to be a real scramble in Group B for those 2 semi-final spots. Indonesia, Vietnam, Cambodia and the Philippines will all have their eye on a semi-final berth. Still stays with Vietnam. There's a man running on the left-hand side if they can find him, and they do. It's Duan Van Hao with a cross. Danger still not cleared. Shot comes in. Good save. Fagio Augusta down to his left very quickly to prevent that from being number 4. What it is, though, is the third corner of the game. And Fagio Augusta, not for the first time, making a decent save there. He wasn't at fault for any of the 3 goals conceded in the first 45. And had to be on his guard to prevent an early score in the second stanza by Vietnam. Got down well. Comes in, not the best, hacked away. This time it's a throw to the men in red. Olivero it was that at that corner before it got anywhere near the near post. Davan Tan with the throw. Be interesting to speak to the Vietnamese coach Tang after this one, whether he would preferred to play Timor Leste first, or maybe later in the competition when they have tired somewhat with their fitness levels. No doubt going to be exposed to some hard games ahead. Although having said that, it's an opportunity for Vietnam to get 3 points on the board. Worst ways, they're going to be joint top at the end of day one of Group B action. There's certainly no way back for Timor Leste in this game now. One of the half-time substitutes, Gonzalez, being given a talking to. Timor Leste, it appears, with a couple of changes at half-time. We'll get confirmation of them to you very shortly, but it is Timor Leste coming forward. Vietnamese player falls down in front of Enrique, which gives him some time and space to operate. They decide to switch it wide to the right-hand side. And they want a free kick here. Now, they had a couple of set-piece opportunities in the first half, couldn't make them pay. There's the assistant referee on that right-hand side who's flagged for the foul on Danielson. It was Dwan van Gaal, the scorer of 2 and creator of 1 in the first 45 that was penalised. What a first half it was for him. Man of the match performance so far, but still 39 minutes for other players to affect that. They've committed 5 players into the penalty box for this free kick, as Vietnam are keen to make a change before the free kick is taken. Phong Hung Doi is the man going to be substituted. He's currently in the wall, so the last job he will have is to form this wall. I'm not quite sure of the positioning of the wall, to be honest with you. I don't know where the ball's going to get anywhere near that. The cross comes in, headed over. There's an opportunity for Timor Leste. They have to make those set pieces play. Augusta it was that was doing position there. Very strange. But Vietnam survived that ball scale. Now the substitution's going to come, and it is going to be Phong Hung coming off Quang Hai, number 19. This makes his part of the game. He can get 38 minutes under his belt. Did a reasonable afternoon for Doi. We'll be happy with his contribution. Sliding tackle in. Had to be timed exactly right, and it was. And the substitute launches a counter-attack for Timor-Leste, and they've got numbers up here. Surely they can't get the first goal of the second half, can they? The answer is no. Not sure what the attempt there was by Portela. Neither a cross nor a shot, really. He half had in his mind to put through the substitute, and instead it was a rather nothing effort that sailed harmlessly out for a goal kick to Vietnam. Well, very early on, 8 minutes in, Vietnam not as smooth and silky as they did for large parts of that first 45 minutes. Difficult, I suppose, for them to know how to approach his second 45. You'd assume Coach Tang would have just told them more of the same and try and score as many as you can, with goal difference potentially a factor in those tight races for the semi-final burst at the end of the group stage. And that's what I referred to, really, when maybe you'd like to play Timor-Leste when you knew how many goals you needed to score against them to guarantee yourself a semi-final spot. There's a chance for number 4, though, for Vietnam here. Twisting and turning in the box. It's pulled back outside the area. And that came off a red shirt. It'll be a goal kick. It's brought down well by Haddock Chin. But the long-range effort, don't think it was going to trouble the goalkeeper anyway. It was deflected. Nothing doing for Vu Van Tan on that occasion. So Fagio Augusta with a goal kick. Already 10 minutes nearly expired in the second half. They've absolutely flown by. As you can see, not a capacity crowd at the Seliang Stadium, but plenty of Vietnamese there to support their heroes, making their presence felt. Good start to the second half this by Timor-Leste. For the first time, just that final delivery at the decision-making in the final third letting them down. Long ball over the top. Augusta meets it. Prevent the onrushing Van Tan from getting there. Still trying to find their rhythm in this second half, Vietnam. Van Tan. They get it back though, Van Tan. And it's going to fall to a red shirt. Clever flick tried, but maybe something simpler was in order. But they're being held by Timor Leste, just not being able to retain possession. What can they do here? 2 white shirts forward against 3 red ones. And the answer is they'll win a throw. Nelson will take it. Get a free kick here, so another interesting set piece for Timor Leste to work with. They've already had one in this second half. That resulted in a very strangely placed wall by Vietnam and a header that went up and over the crossbar of Thi Minh Long's goal. But a decent position here for Portela to try and fashion a cross. They're going to catch Vietnam cold at the start of the second half. Portela's going to lead this. It's going to be Andolino. He's going to take it. He's positioned Rufino Watergamma next to the goalkeeper. Can he become a nuisance? Decent delivery, keeper punches. Gets a good connection as well. Good game with little to do. Thi Minh Long, no mistakes thus far, and here come Vietnam. And this is where they were dangerous in the first 45. On these quick counter-attacks, they were scything through the Vietnam part of the field and into Timor-Leste territory so quickly, and it was catching Timor-Leste cold nearly every time. Timor-Leste resorting to infringement there to prevent that one from developing further. BT Tung, the captain, leaving this for the only player to be booked in the first half, Lung Yong Chuang. Captain helping to start this move. They're trying to fashion a path for a shot. They haven't cleared it. It's going to break to the edge of the box and over the bar. Goes down as a half chance for Van Tuan, that. I'm sure he'll want to get in on the goal-scoring party here this afternoon. More confusion in the Timor-Leste defence, but the finish not good enough from Van Tuan. As this 29th Seagames of 2017 here in Malaysia gets into full swing. Worth to remind everybody, break off, remind you of what's happening in the football after this shot comes in. It goes well wide. So Indonesia, Thailand in action at the moment, just like Vietnam and Timor-Leste are. Tonight's game, Cambodia against the Philippines, should be a good one that. The Philippines, one of the most improved teams in the region in recent years. Group B back in action again on Thursday. Vietnam take on Cambodia, Indonesia and the Philippines, and goodness gracious, nighttime kickoff, local time for Thailand against Timor-Leste. You dread to think what Thailand might do if they put their first choice 11 on the pitch against the Timor-Leste team, who are, let's face it, no disrespect to them, are a little outmatched here. And then Group A back in action tomorrow with Myanmar and Laos, Singapore and Malaysia. Big game there, Singapore, Malaysia on Wednesday. Vietnam coming forward, heading clear, only as far as Duan Van Hao, who we know can hit them from range. And it'll be Duan Van Hao again. Can he get one of those crosses that fashioned it on in the first half? It's crossed in! And just not enough on that from Haddock Chin. Easy for Fagio Augusta. But they just cannot keep possession long enough, Timor-Leste. The wave of Vietnamese attacks keep coming forward. Delightful ball through. They get a touch, but is it enough? Surely it's number 4! He's missed it. How was Haddock Chin not scored there? to Van Twan. Got 2 goes at it. Got stuck under the feet somewhat of Haddock-Chin there. Timor Leste somehow survive again. Cutting up a little bit here as well, that has to be noted. With the rain we've been having in Kuala Lumpur in recent days, the surface does appear to be cutting up rather badly. It'll certainly be interesting when the stadium's next in use on Friday for Laos against Singapore. It's not going to be an A1 playing surface for those 2 nations in Group A, that's for sure. So 60-minute mark, no goals to add to the 3 we saw in the first half so far. You get the feeling it's only a matter of time if Vietnam do fancy a 4th and 5th. All over the top, sprung the trap perfectly. Is this the 4th? Twisting and turning, and again under his feet. Oh, they missed it out. This time it's Kong Plong that's missed. And again, let's give them a bit of leeway. Maybe it's the surface that's not helping them, but what a delightful ball over the top that was. Sprung the high line perfectly, but Van Town couldn't get it out from under his feet. And he passed through to Kong Plong. Wasn't good enough. Corner ball though. Corner's beginning to mount up for Vietnam in this second half. Not much Goncalves could have done there other than concede the corner. Now, how many bodies are Vietnam going to commit forward? Because Timor Leste have got, I think I just saw 9 of their players in the box to defend this. They've already conceded 1 from a corner after 8 minutes. Haddock-Chin's in there. Corner comes in. It's a decent one, flicked on by a white shirt. That'll be a corner again. So it'll be Kong Plong with the corner. Should have scored just moments ago. Can he deliver a corner that can help amend for that miss? Glenn Van Hal, one of their danger men, making the run in. Corners the near post, flipped through, corner again. Could have ended up anywhere, that one. They are looking vulnerable at the set pieces, Timor Leste. Not the tallest of sides. Fitness levels are going to start playing a part as we approach the final 25 minutes of this action. Not the best delivery from the corner on this occasion. It's met easily at the near post by Timor Leste, and it's hoofed clear. Only as far as a red shirt, though, who'll try and get the ball moving once again, and there's some space to operate here for Kong Plong. Manages eventually to find his intended target. They often try and switch it on these occasions, but they're going to try and regroup here. To be careful. Skipper Good Tien Dong. Just certainly quelled a bit in the last couple of minutes. How attack-minded are Vietnam going to be in the final 25? Remember, goal difference can still be a factor at the later stages. Chance here, pulled back. Still not cleared the danger by Timor Leste. It's a perpetual goal scramble for them when the ball is in their penalty area. Doing well there. Was the substitute. Who's been everywhere with that distinctive ponytail since he entered the fray at the start of the second half. Big news in the other game in Group B. This is big news. Indonesia have equalised against Thailand. Indonesia won, Thailand won. And that's potentially a result, if it stays at that, that could really throw the cat amongst the pigeons in Group B. Remember, just 2 of the 6 qualified for the semi-finals. And Thailand, red-hot favourites to win gold here. It'd be a surprise if they're held by Indonesia, who of course have come back quite strong after that FIFA-imposed ban from international football. So, more motivation maybe for Vietnam to turn the screw here. If they hear that Thailand have dropped points, a strong start for them in terms of goals scored. Could be just what the doctor ordered. They've got a chance here. But not quite the same fluency they were displaying in the first 45 minutes so far. Has the motivation gone for them? So 24 minutes to go here at Seagames Stadium in Malaysia at the 2017 Seagames, the opening day of Group B action in the football. Vietnam on their way to a comfortable 3 points. And if it stays, Indonesia won, Thailand won, the game in progress on the show alarm. Vietnam are going to be top of Group B tonight, saving a big victory for either Cambodia or the Philippines in the game that they play. Also here at the Saliang later this evening, which is going to really take a hammering here at the 2 games in one day. Here's Van Tuan trying to twist and turn and fashion something again. The ball getting stuck under his feet a little bit. Has support though. Nice skills trick shown by Vietnam. Not sure the playing surface is maybe the best for what they're trying to implement with some of those skills. Augusta, goalkeeper thus far, despite conceding 3, has done little wrong. Every effort that's been saved, but he's had to deal with, he's dealt with comfortably enough. He certainly had a busier afternoon than his opposite number, P. Ming Long, who himself, on the 1 or 2 occasions he's had to do something, has done it well. Free kick blown for the foul on Di Quang Hai, the substitute, by the other substitute, his fellow number 19. Calves. Down the right they come, trying to get some momentum back in their play. Still being given some time and space to operate in, but critical of them at all today. It's possibly the decision making. Have to allow for the pitch being not pristine. Sorry for Cambodia and the Philippines. I'm not sure how this surface is going to play for them later on this evening. Oh, and they've given it away here. All of a sudden, Timor Leste have a one-on-one, and the Vietnamese player slips over. But they survive that. That's been the story of Timor Leste's afternoon. They've been presented with a couple of opportunities, really, and still not looked like they were capable of capitalising. Now they've got some defending to do. Man of the match so far, Duan Van Hao. His through ball is blocked by Nelson. Going to see a change here. Off is going to come the goal scorer, Haddock Chin. Got the second with that fantastic diving header. And on comes Ho Tan Tai. So Ho Tan Thai, the attacking threat to reignite the Vietnamese front line. We're about to find out. The distinctive tattoo on his left hand. Fires through for the cutback. Come to a Vietnamese player, goes out wide, chance for four. Plenty of velocity on that shot, but not the direction that Van Tuan wanted. And another chance goes begging for four. This angle will tell us just how far it missed by. The answer's quite some distance. No wonder Fagio Augusta was rooted to the spot with a power on it. If it had been on target, it would only have been one outcome. Oh, that's a nice touch. Almost kept the move going there. Stretching that left foot to keep it going, but Timor Leste have picked up an injury. It's Morera. So they've got an abdominal issue there. It's going to be okay to continue, it appears so. No need for the trainer. Concerned look of Pong Pong. Another change. This will be the final change, if I'm not mistaken, by Timor Leste on the way. It will be an offensive change. Alves is going to be coming on. No surprise to see a fresh pair of legs in the defence with the amount of work they've had to do this afternoon, Timor Leste. That's the thought of coach Kim Shim Wan. With two white shirts, and those two white shirts being with him meant that Pong Pong had the freedom of Seagames to finish, and he'll be delighted to have joined the goal-scoring fray at these 2017 Seagames. So Vietnam lead by 4, and they've got 15 minutes and change to add to that. Still a couple of changes at the coach's disposal as well for Vietnam. I think just the one change. I'm sure Coach Tang will be utilising his full allocation of 3 substitutes. In this busy schedule, they play today, they then play against Cambodia at the Shawalam on Thursday. On Sunday against the Philippines, back at the Shawalam once more, followed by Indonesia. What a game that promises to be back here at the Selayang. They finish their campaign in the group stage, and they hope before the semi-finals with a big game against the Thais, who at last check were being held by Indonesia. It would be the shock if it stays that way of the first 2 days of the football here at the Seagames. All the way through Vietnam, so the goalkeeper does well, Fagio Augusta. Straight at him, but there was plenty of velocity on it. But substitute Doi Quang Hai unable to get past the keeper. While we were watching that replay, there was another opportunity, another scare for Timor Leste, as Vietnam really start to pile on the pressure here. Here they come again. Possession stats here have to be something like 80-20, waiting for official data of the possession stats, but certainly 75-80-20. It's been that dominant by Vietnam. And they've got some more space in the edge of the box here. Nice 1-2. Some space fashioning. One more touch maybe, twisting and turning. Gets it out to the right-hand side. Another twist and another turn. Maybe one too many on that occasion from Van Tuan. The amount of time they're getting on the ball is terrifying. Timor Leste just chasing shadows when they're trying to get it off them. The best they can do is get near to them so they can't get the shot away. And look at that hat clearance in the end from Oliveiro. Just about getting the job done. So off goes Chuanan, and on comes Tran. And he also miscontrols that, slightly impedes the momentum of this attempted break by Timor Leste. Vietnam, despite the temptation they must have to throw numbers forward, they've been doing a very good job of getting back. Even though Timor Leste have threatened on the counter on more than one occasion, Vietnam doing a really good job of getting the numbers behind the ball. By Oliveiro, who's had a very busy afternoon indeed. All of a sudden, Timor Leste trying to break again, but all red shirts and white shirts there, and when that's the case, 99 times out of 100, the red shirts that are winning those personal battles. Still, by my recollection, just the one yellow card shown here in the first half. It was by referee Omar to Long Yuan. It's a fair yellow card as well, but it's potentially from the arbitrary taking away from the team. There's an example of half opportunity Timor Leste have been presented with, they've been unable to convert. 11 shots on target for Vietnam in this, 6 off target for Timor Leste, 2 on target, 1 off target. That really tells a story. And arguably 4-0, probably still just about flattering Timor Leste at the moment. Balance of play, the chance that have been creative. Vietnam will be disappointed they've not converted at least a couple more so far. They've still got time to add to the 4. That long lofted ball was attempting to do just that. And they come forward again. It's laid off. They attempt the cute 1-2 inside the penalty area with Doi Quan Hai, the substitute. Box, long range effort, straight at the keeper once more. Indonesia 1, Thailand 1, still the latest score in the other Group B opener currently in progress. At the show alarm, another surface, the show alarm surface, is going to see an awful lot of football in the next couple of weeks. Chance for Timor Leste, they can get the shot away. Too much on that return ball from Gamma. Could have been offside anyway, surely. Carefully, one of the changes made by coach Kim Shan-wan for Timor Leste in the second half as he tries to stem this tide, and so far been successful. Conceded 3 in the first half, just the 1 in the second, but there's no question Vietnam's intensity has dipped somewhat in this second 45. Now just a question of getting through the game, maybe content with their goal difference of +4. And of course with Indonesia and Thailand sharing the points at the moment at the show alarm. Permutations for this 16 group, remember 5 matches in all for each side, everyone plays everyone in a round robin format. The top 2 spots are going to be really open for tough competition. Olivero goes back to the goalkeeper. That's blocked though, and a chance of another quick break. They switch it to the right-hand side. And again, Timor Leste just having to stand back, and at best crowd Vietnam out of it. They're going to concede a free kick there though for the foul on Dodaiman. To the skipper is the man penalised. Now, we know that Duan Van Gaal can hit from range. You've already seen that with a moving ball. Is he going to be given the opportunity to try and do it from a static ball? It won't be him. It's going to be the substitute, Du Quang Hai, the way they're shaping up. Is he going to go for goal? We saw some very long-range efforts attempted by Malaysia in their game against Brunei yesterday. A couple of them not too far away either. Crossbar was struck on an occasion. Dodaiman from, must be fully 35 yards out here. It's a four-man wall. Not the highest wall either, not the tallest wall. Is he going to try and be a creator or a scorer? He's going to try and be a scorer! And it needs a good save by Fagio Augusta at the near post, and somehow Vietnam don't make them pay with a follow-up. Vu Van Tan it was following up that shot, and a good one it was as well from Du Quang Hai. Dropping to the goalkeeper's left-hand post, which is always difficult for a keeper to deal with. And it was a very narrow angle that was attempted with the intentions of his own player possibly putting him off as well. Vu Van Tan couldn't turn that into number 5. So inside, well inside now the final 10 minutes. 8.5 to play plus stoppages, of which there have not been too many in this second half, save for substitutions. Timor Leste all of a sudden with 4 white shirts committed forward, and they're standing off here, allowing the shot that even if it hadn't been blocked, had no conviction. They're going to win a free kick though, and this is probably the best set-piece position that they've been presented with in the entire game, and it comes with 8 minutes to go. It's the double goal scorer Duan Van Gaal that's been penalised. He's been all over the pitch, hasn't he? Definitely a foul, but the fact he was even there to make that challenge after a quick Timor-Leste counter shows you how hard he's been working. Gamma limps away. Now we've just seen Vietnam go close with a shot from further out than this. The question remains, who have Timor-Leste got in a set-piece situation to try and trouble Thi Minh Long in the Vietnamese goal? We're about to find out. This is the first, as we take a note of the second yellow card of the game as well there for Duan Van Gaal. So 2 goals, an assist and a yellow for Duan Van Gaal this afternoon. Looks like Victor fancies this. Is it going to be a cross? Is it going to be a shot? He's got plenty of players lined up to get on the end of it. He's going to go for a cross-come shot. And wasn't going to be too far away, but for the Vietnamese intervention from the defence. Would have certainly given Thi Minh Long something to think about if it had gone all the way through to him. That's a nice ball through. He's going to find his target as well. Now, where's the Vietnamese support in attack here? He needs some help, does Ho Tan Tai. He gets it in the shape of who else? Duan Van Gaal, who's up there once again. They switch it out to the right. Some space though here now. Keeper's come, committed, done well but missed. Gets away with a corner. I thought the keeper had done the right thing there, Fagio Augusta. He appeared to get there in time, but didn't come away with the ball. Have a look at this. Nice ball through it was from Dudai Man. Keeper missed the ball. Forward thinking of Duquan High jumped over him, but there was a Timor Leste white shirt to knock it out for a corner. Vietnam in no hurry to take this seemingly. Just 5 minutes plus stoppages remaining. They've got plenty of bodies up for this though. Good practice for them in a match situation for set pieces in games where they'll be under slightly more pressure than this. Keeper has to come here, doesn't claim, open goal off the line! Great off the line clearance, and Timor Leste attempted to go straight up the other end. Staying on side is Gamma. And that's a nice little ball through, but a little bit too much on it. Beaming Long can claim. Looking forward to seeing the replay of that goal line clearance from Timor Leste. Because Fagio Augusta, one of the few mistakes he's made there, he came to claim that, didn't get anywhere near it, it fell to a red shirt. And a thunderous attempt on goal was hacked off the line. Didn't quite catch who it was in real time, but on the basis of what we've seen, one of the best bits of defending we've seen from Timor Leste this afternoon. Solid game, booked in Dom. He's helped launch a counter-attack here. Timor Leste hack it away. Again, as often their clearances have been doing, go to red shirts. They're on the edge of the box, they've got a man down playing everyone else on side as well. It's a ball looking for the substitute to chase. Alves. Nothing doing. Vietnam will come forward again, and will they? No, decide to go back, build it up, win a free kick. That was Enrique Wilson fouling Van Truong. Been a slightly disappointing second half, really, but you can't, I suppose, blame Vietnam not wanting to expand too much energy as we finally see a yellow card for Timor Leste. Enrique Wilson picks up the first yellow, third of the match. Can't really fault our referee from the Oman, our Yakubi Omar, a reasonable afternoon. Had too many big calls to make. The assistant referee made a couple of very tight offside calls, but the jury remains out, so I suppose if we can't decide with the replay, the assistant referee the benefit of the doubt. That was a lazy pass from Vietnam that's intercepted, and they get it straight back, as they so often have done. Been given 2, 3, 4 opportunities when attacks break down, but they've been dispossessed again here. And they'll concede a free kick. Oh, what happened there? That was the substitute Alves going through. Referee Omar keen to calm any controversy. Leong Xiang, the player that went down, has of course the first player to go into the book this afternoon in the first half. Considering how hard they've had to work, particularly in defence, Timor Leste, their fitness levels have held up well here. Of course, how football's scored, as it were, but the fact they've only lost the second half 1-0 so far has been a testament to their improved performance, arguably, and their levels of commitment. And potentially, in fairness, a slight drop in the commitment and concentration levels of Vietnam with the game won by half-time. Who's going to come there? Fagio Augusta. Keen to get on with it. See if he can launch an attack for his team to get what would be a consolation goal. Enrique Wilson, the player that just went into the book. Certainly had a chin since his departure. They've not been as threatening up front. It's the third and final substitution made by coach Tang. Well, here's a chance, flags up, and it was straight at the goalkeeper anyway. Not to be the consolation goal. He's just offside by the 5 yards. Was Nelson Vigas. Now, is this going to be the final push forward from Vietnam? It's a great ball through. It's sprung what resembled an offside trap, but still they can't quite get the ball out from under their feet to fashion an opportunity. And what have we seen here? Is this going to be yellow? Or red, is it? What is it? Yellow card. For a minute we were going to see a very late red that would have been somewhat needless. But the referee's seen an elbow of some description. That was Danielson, I think. He picked up a yellow card. This will tell us. Oh, that was naughty. It's 2 elbows into the stomach. Lucky only to get away with the yellow there, really, Danielson. What he has done is given Vietnam one more set piece to play with, potentially, before the time expires at 93 minutes. The ball lofted in. Oh, just failing to get on the end of it was Tran Ha. That's a bit loose. Not as loose as the first touch from Timor Leste's Danielson as he tries to capitalise. He's got to be careful, having just been booked as well. He was very exuberant in trying to win the ball back. Now, Vietnam going to get a 5th goal to send their large travelling support home happy here. There's plenty of Timor-Leste players back, and there's too much juice on that ball as well, so the answer is no. Free kick to Vietnam there. Could have arguably gone either way. Yeah, he was leaning into the player, wasn't he? Probably the right decision from the referee. So it looks like 4 goals, it's what it's going to be, unless Vietnam can fashion one in the final 9 seconds of this game. Are they going to create one more opportunity? If the countless, must be in excess of 20 opportunities they've created in this game. That's going to be it. So it's going to finish Vietnam 4, Timor-Leste 0 in this opener in Group B. Referee Omar blows for full time and instructs both sets of players to meet in the middle and shake hands. The goal scoring opened after a Duan Van Hao goal from a goalmouth scramble following a corner after 8 minutes. Duan Van Hao then turned provider, an exquisite cross fired in via a bullet header, courtesy of Ha Du Chin. And then the second goal for Duan Van Hao, 4 minutes before the break, given space and time outside the area, a rasping shot that made it 3. And just the 1 goal added to proceedings in the second half, despite numerous opportunities for Vietnam, scored by Kong Kong. So, as it stands, on goal difference only, for now at least, depending on the full-time whistle in the Indonesia-Thailand game, Vietnam sitting pretty at the top of Group B. A reminder, there's more Group B action later this evening with Cambodia taking on the Philippines back here at the Seliang. But from this afternoon's action, we'll say goodbye with the final score of Vietnam 4, Timor-Leste 0.
Berlakukan Vietnam dijalankan oleh pemain jersey nomor 20, thao.
Substitution for Vietnam. Cornelius Portillo, replaced by Vietnam, 1 from Japan.